Right. Welcome to the Dice Are Good Bad Storytellers. I am your DM today, Jacob Clarkson, and this is Remalin. We are in session 8. I'm joined by Matt playing Kyle and Maddie playing Kubo. Unfortunately, Leo, our friend Josh, fell down a well and is no longer with us. Just kidding. He will be back eventually, probably next week. But yeah, he just had a conflict today. No big concern. We're going to roll with the punches and it'll all work out. We left off last session with kind of a lot of internal politicking and drama as we learn more about the context of Savage's betrayal, all of the kind of internal drama at the Cadros household. And we ended with our dear friend Leopold summoning an angelic being to this plane without the consent or permission of Peregrine Cadros, which could have ended in a lot of very nasty ways. But thankfully, because of some clever movements by his newest summon, Jophiel, a lot of disaster has been averted. We kind of come back, and this is kind of in, dramatically speaking, kind of story flux time. This is around that time after that. We're still kind of figuring out what's happening and how we're going to get after this. Senator Peterson, who's threatening to make all divine and divine beget children and citizens illegal in the sense that they can be cast out from the city, hunted, not have the same rights as normal citizens of the nation of Yala and of Remalin, or the continent of Yala and the nation of Remalin.
Say normal, check your privilege, man.
Yeah. Not a comfy topic for sure. But I kind of want to offer you guys some here, and this is gonna be some improvised stuff here. You guys are all sleeping at the Cadros household, it sounds like. Kyle might be not staying there all the time, but it's a good place to crash if he wants to save some on a room. What are your living arrangements arranged as? Like, how do you set up your room? Is it, what's your bedding like? What's your kind of, can you give me a profile of how your character comports his space, their space?
It's not gonna work if she's number Cam on. I'll go first then, I guess. His room's probably actually kept fairly neat, and he rarely actually sleeps in it. He's probably down in a garage with the car that we've been using that he's pretty much just decided is his lab use, and he's just moved in. And whatever little sleep he gets, is him passing out over like a designer table or something like that.
Yeah. So you don't put a lot of effort and routine into the routine of sleep. It's kind of more of a necessary accident that being not entirely elf forces you to do a little more.
Yeah. Kind of a weird mix between like regular sleep and trance that he kind of just collapses into for like 6 hours at some point.
Gotcha.
Maybe you get dreams like the crab rave or something.
So, it is during one of these 6-hour crash nap sleep periods where Kyle will have a dream. And I kind of want to enable you to pick the setting here. What is a place in Kyle's memory that holds like special meaning? Or is there like a place or a moment or an environment that for younger Kyle was super meaningful?
The marketplace of Oh, I hadn't named it, but probably the marketplace where I first met Adlaria.
Oh, a market where you first met Adlaria. So this is maybe 50, 60 years ago at this rate, maybe a little less than that, but like you guys have known each other for a couple.
Probably in his mid-teens ish, mid to late teens.
Yeah. You are in this dream, and you've had this dream maybe a couple times because it's just kind of a pleasant memory. It's kind of one of those dreams that you never wake up and you remember, but you wake up and you feel warm and fuzzy and you kind of remember this cute interaction. In this dream, you're kind of navigating the market, and you get to this place where you would normally bump into Adlaria, and this would start your, first bard quip, and then you find out that she was, hoodwinking someone in the market, and then it started this whole long, like many month, hunt each other down kind of a thing. However, that ended
I feel like we both pickpocket each other simultaneously, didn't realize it until later, and then it just turned into a game of trying to get our stuff back, but keep the stuff that we had.
Yeah, and then 2 years later, you're in a deeply entrenched relationship. This time you turn, and instead of Adlaria, you bump into your mother, which makes zero sense. Your mother was long gone dead by now.
Yeah.
And suddenly, sorry, keep going.
No, just a good 10 years, yeah.
Yeah. And it's strange because you've seen other people in your life have scenes like that, like children interacting with their parents and having these things. And you remember, seeing them in the market and all this stuff. And this is strange because you barely remember your mother's voice, but she's putting a lot of pressure on you. She's saying things like, man, you haven't had any dating at all yet. Aren't you interested in anyone? When am I going to have grandkids? She like reaches over, pinches your cheek. And it's like this very strange experience because she's where she's not supposed to be. There's this strange pressure, familial pressure coming from her to perform this, giving her grandchildren basically. What's going through Kyle's mind here? What do you think this is telling him?
To what degree is this like a conscious dream? Like this is his normal self, or is this like his dream self kind of rolling with it?
I think it's kind of like your dream self rolling with it. I don't think like this is definitely not lucid. You're not like, and this isn't scary in any other way than it's just psychically unpleasant. It's like you don't feel anything magical. You don't feel any like vicious thing. It's just emotionally unpleasant.
Mom, why would I want to keep that bastard's bloodline alive?
You see her face just drop with disappointment and sorrow and shame.
It's not your fault, Mom, or anything. I don't. Why would you want kids? I mean, I can barely support myself, and you. Weird memory glitch.
Yeah.
Where the dream patches the holes.
You yeah, I think she reaches down, kind of brushes your cheek, and then kind of pinches it lightly, and just kind of says, it's good to want a family. And this is kind of me forcing this on you, but it's also just kind of me illustrating kind of the forces of the world. What I think would be a normal fear for an older man to start thinking about. And as she says that, you feel your face press against something cold, and you're at your desk, and what was once a very hot, like furnace has now long cooled off since you've been asleep, for as long as you have been. But you touch your face to it, and there's a moment of panic, thinking you've burned yourself, but it's long since cooled down. But you're woken up from this dream. I don't. That doesn't need to hold any narrative power. I just wanted to offer that as a thing
Yeah.
there. That can
Gotcha.
totally be something he's like, I gotta drink more, and he doesn't change any of his behaviors. I just
Oh my god. Now I'm imagining him just kind of really is like low key. I'm not even really interested, but you know, we haven't really brought up kids. And Lyria, and how big of a train wreck that would potentially be, and it sounds fun. But
that's interesting. That's saying what you think. It was like, I guess I'd only want to have kids with Valeria, and that would be a nightmare. That'd be cool.
Yeah. He probably what time did it wake him up? Is it like the end of sleeping
We'll
hours?
say it's like 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. You kind of fell asleep maybe 4 or 5 hours earlier. Like,
I'm going to very obliviously resume some attempts to mount a some form of rifle barrel on the car, and we're gonna go back to like just there's gonna be loud explosions coming from however far away the garage is at 5 a.m.
sounds totally reasonable.
Yeah.
Again, I want to stress, I feel like I gave you a lot of narrative push there, but really, Kyle can fully just go like, I ate some bad sushi last night, didn't like that, never think about it again. That was very much an offer.
I think both him and Lyria are probably traditionally against it, but I like the idea of him bringing it up, and it is one of those things where I feel like it's more likely that she would want it eventually, just because, well, he's gonna die like several hundred years beforehand, so before she will. So theoretically,
I don't know. Yeah. Sorry to broach that mess without really diving into it. Maddie, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
So I'd love to get your description of how you would, prepare your room, how your room would look like. I will only offer one strict rule that I have, and I don't know why this is important to me, but I feel like everyone in the Cadros family has some very nice silk sheets. So that's the only thing that I feel like.
Honestly, maybe it's because Ariana low-key is a design, like she's one of those people who likes to like interior design their house. So yeah, she's like the mom who's like, these are your new pajamas, this is your new bed sheet. And so accordingly, I feel like um I feel like Kubo has a room kind of like on one of the top floors, and depending on how the house is just kind of shaped, it's like a room in a corner. So like the top like right corner, or it could be one of the back rooms kind of thing. And he and his siblings all had rooms kind of by each other. Whether or not they stayed there, but at least when they were kids, I feel like Kubo definitely has like a nice I actually kind of feel like Kubo's room is actually a bit more like chill, maybe a bit more indie might be the word. Like when it's like they don't have to worry about the facade of looking powerful or like proper for society. Like his room has pretty chill, I guess, like some tapestries with just cool designs. I feel like at some point, like he was able to find like a constellation map. He has it up on a wall, and maybe he has some plants from his dad's garden that he liked, and he just has them around, kind of a thing. Uh, and then like I'm sure there's like weapons in the corner. Maybe there's some bloody rags from times when had to come home and like not tell mom or dad, kind of a thing. But
Yeah. So you've got this kind of bohemian, kind of artsy, gardeny room.
yeah,
And you typically, I imagine you work hard, sleep hard, kind of a thing. You kind of sleep like a log, maybe have a couple fitful nights. But
yeah,
I want to establish that this dream happens pretty shortly after Savage betrays you. It was very emotionally tumultuous. You were really stressed out at the time. You
love
had
that.
gotten off of cocaine or gotten off the effects of cocaine just briefly.
Sure.
What would be a setting that Kubo would have like firmly in mind in regards to Savage?
I feel like when they were kids at some point, especially if this is like in New York, Florida, or whatever, like that joke that one time, I feel like
Miami, I think, is where we
Ariana,
settled on.
yeah, yeah, New York, Florida, whatever, New York, Miami, um, would take them out to like the beach. Well, maybe because the kids were like definitely younger and they weren't all murderers, so like they didn't have to be as afraid of being in public. And I feel like they would all like to go swimming and kind of see who could swim out the farthest. And that's a dream. I feel like that's a good memory that Kuba would go back to and associate with Savage.
Gotcha. And his name was Milo, is that right?
He's feral. Oh, sorry. Gosh darn it. Yeah,
Alexander.
Alexander is Savage.
Alexander Savage. Gotcha.
Milo is feral.
So you and Savage before Alexander, this is when you guys were still very young, and probably way before you had your tattoos. You guys have had, this is kind of in the dream space. You're kind of visiting this old, warm, sun-kissed memory. And you guys have been swimming back and forth from the beach all day. You guys are exhausted, tired. You know, your clothes are drying out on like a rock nearby. Um, and Savage has started doing this thing where he will skip stones and intentionally try and hit seagulls or other stuff like that. And he's gotten very good at it. He started being able to hit seagulls with like pretty good accuracy and goes out of his way to do it whenever he can. And while you're, you know, there relaxing with and kind of waiting for your clothes to get dry enough to wear again, he is, you know, skipping stones. You guys are just in like, you know, shorts, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's skipping stones and you're sitting behind him. Is there anything that like Kubo would want to say here?
I feel like something that Kubo would do is instead of throwing the stones, he'd be like gathering them. And I feel actually maybe more like, well, sorry, Alexander would be the one to say something to him like, like, don't be a baby, don't tell mom or something. Because depending on how old they are, I imagine that he's very young currently, like under 10.
Gotcha. Yeah. And so, yeah, you guys are having this experience. You know, he's like killed 2 or 3 birds, and you know, maybe Kubo is resisting this, and he goes like, "You just don't tell mom. Nobody cares. Like, mom doesn't care. If you tell mom, it won't. She won't care. She won't care." He's like trying to convince you that it won't matter, so to not tell because he knows he'll get trouble if you tell. So he's like, "Mom said it's okay."
Kubo would probably just be like, I just don't like that they're hurt. It's not fair. They didn't do anything to us.
Um, I think this is like where stuff starts to get weird in the dream. He like stands up, like turns around, he's like, "What are you gonna do about it?" And he pushes you in your shoulders, which is like,
Is
you
he
know,
like
maybe
big again?
it's like dream. Yeah, like time is starting to feel weird. Now it's starting to like, oh, he's got his clothes back on, but now he's like an adult. And now I'm an adult, and we're by the side of the road. Like the setting is starting to shift with the dream as this gets more and more intense.
Interesting. So he like pushes Kubo and then he's like, what are you gonna do about it? And so he's kind of like making fun of him, like, oh, are you gonna tell mom? Are you gonna tell dad or something?
Mhm.
I think Kubo would, in this moment of stress, try to honestly just tackle his brother. Maybe use his horns, try to like how deer or whatever they do the headbutting.
Yeah, you try to level your Asimar fallen angel physiology at him, try and wound him in some way. He gets you in like a low wrestling hold, kind of whips you around. You know, your legs like pull against the gravel slash sand as like suddenly you're not on the beach, now you're on the road. He like disconnects and comes into you. Now there are like all these figures, all the guys that were the what you now know are the Ayagran forces, you know, kind of standing on the road next to you as he kind of squares up to punch you.
Okay. I think honestly the only thing Kubo will be feeling in this moment is absolute panic. Like if this is the moment of the night where like he's feeling it. And I think he's going to actually definitely flinch, but he's also gonna yell at him like literally he's just gonna be like, I thought that we were brothers and I thought that you loved me. I thought I could trust you.
Uh, he, when you guys were fighting before, he'd gotten like a good couple punches in, and the last punch that he landed on you had been like a punch right across the face, clocked you out entirely. And as he does that, because it's like the same memory, it's like a snapshot of that moment where he punched you before. You feel it on your face and then your hand and your fist. And I'm just going to kind of pull the reins back here, but I'll give you a quick moment to kind of peer around here. And as he punches you, you feel it in your hand, and then you try and lurch up from your bed, and you realize there are like thick steel chains over your chest, and you aren't able to pull up, and you can't see out of one of your eyes.
Okay, panic. And so, does Kubo look like? If I look down, do I look like Kubo or do I look like
You've
Alexander?
got a different skin color. You are not Kubo. You recognize the skin color of being savages.
Oh shit! I think actually I would say that out loud. Just Kubo's just like, oh shit, like wherever he is. Like,
Yeah, as you say that, I think there you see like a dwarf who has like the full beard, not even trying to kind of like hide his dwarf and stuff. Is like, oh, she is right. You don't have half the information we need. And he like pats your thigh.
oh, I think the panic there is just like, what more do you need? I can get it to Savage if you leave him alone.
I think you see him pull some sharp instrument from somewhere off to the side, like outside of where you're able to turn your head to look. And when you feel like the coldness of the metal, you wake up, shoot up out of your bed, and this is actually your bed back in your home, back in the Cadros household.
Kubo's just like, honestly, Kubo is incredibly pissed, and he's just like, father, and he like runs out to go tell Leon his dad.
Yeah, no. I hope you guys are okay with those scenes. They were a little hyper melodramatic, but I wanted to get some juice. Do you want to go like confront your dad right now?
If there's time for it, we can do that, or just let me know if it fits better. But Kubo's goal is to go tell his dad that, not just that like I had a scary dream, but specifically he thinks that Savage is very much in trouble.
Yeah. So we'll say that you might sleep in
You
a
also
little
have
bit.
had the information from me that I had passed on from Adleria that he's almost definitely being tortured too.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Okay, thank you. I forgot last session. So with that in mind, let's be real. That's probably why Kubo thinks this is more than just a dream. And I might share that with Peregrine because I don't think I did last time because I was still kind of salty.
Well,
Yeah.
the time frame, the conversation in the bar was at the very end of the session, so you wouldn't.
I mean, if I know it, I'll say it. If not, I won't.
Yeah, so let's say that this is, we're kind of coming back out of this kind of flux time. Your dream may have been a couple days ago, Kubo. Your dream may have been a little more recently, Matt. But Kyle. But now that we're kind of like in the same place, this is the day that you're choosing to address Peregrine about this dream, and so we're all at this. This is a very like Miami weather rich household scene. Like there's a long dinner table. There's a food service here. Ariana, Peregrine, and everyone is around the table, and they've got like grapefruits and hard boiled eggs and a very continental breakfast for everyone here. And this is kind of where this moment kind of comes up, just for humor's sake, as well as to establish what's going on here. Leo and Jophiel are sitting at the table, and they're currently mid-argument, as it's very clear that like there's a misunderstanding about when she'll be available to him, and she's like, I'll be available for you whenever you need me. Do you need me? It's like, well, no, but do you need me? No, fine, then I'm gonna do whatever I want. You let me know if you need me. Like, and so we come into that scene, and Jophiel has kind of accepted a more it's a little over retro for the time period, but it's like kind of party dress, sort of. It's not, it's quite modest for, you know, today's standards now. It's maybe like 20 years retro at this point, but it's not like so bad that people would like point her out and laugh. You know, it's just kind of like a little bit of a throwback.
Oh, come on, have her in petticoats.
It'd be so funny if she. I'm just imagining like the dress from WandaVision, to be honest. But
I can't picture it right now, but I might look it up.
From what?
we can talk later in the chat. Sorry, not to derail the conversation.
Yeah, no worries.
I do it more enough. You guys can get some free passes on it.
So we can guys kind of drop into this scene, and I have some general like newspaper information as well to give you guys, as well as some information that Peregrine's going to give to you all.
Cool. Real quick, is Kyle here? Because if he is, I do want to suggest how Kubo comes in, and I think it will be funny.
I think that it is totally up to Kyle. How would you be at this breakfast, or would you be doing your own thing?
Probably. Yeah, sure.
You'd be there.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll eat food.
Yeah, sounds good. A muffin.
If you're alright with this, DM, I think that everyone's just kind of like vibing. Actually, it's maybe like the most peaceful moment that everyone's had around each other in like days. And Kubo just literally like shreks the door, like freaking just breaks it down. He's only wearing like he's luckily wearing pants, but like sleep pants, nothing else. He's like looks deranged, kind of sweaty, and he's just like savage, like savage, like super loud, and like just stares dead at his dad.
I'm gonna roll something just for humorous effect. Okay, he got a 5. I'm gonna say you fully clock a butler in the head, like right in the dome with the corner of the door. He hits the deck hard. No, like you really like explode onto this scene. And Peregrine sits up, his like disguise starts like, what the hell? Savage, what's Savage? What's going on?
Kubo's kind of thrown off. He's like, "Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh god!" And
he's like on the ground, like, "Oh."
Can he cure wounds? Wait, I'm gonna use one of my spells on this guy. Hold on. I'm going to not cure wounds. I'm just gonna give him some of my, like, lay on hands. Yeah, however much he needs.
It's not a ton of damage. It mostly hurt his pride. You just like bashed him in the head real hard.
Okay. And Kubo's just, I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Oh god.
Really took the wind out of your sails there. I'm so sorry.
Kyle's just like I imagine Kyle's like a coffee person, even though I'm super not. Kyle's just sitting there like stone-faced, placid, basically non-responsive, holding the cup of coffee and just very slowly dunks a donut in it and goes back to just like slowly munching on it as he just stares utterly impassively at you.
Kubo is just like, oh god, he's like, I hate hurting people. Well, no, I just and puts his hands like on the table. He's like, I think last night, Father, something with our paladin connection to you let me be in Savage's body, and I know some things maybe about what's happening wherever he is. I think felt like it.
What are you? He kind of looks around the table and sees Deza there, and is like, maybe we should talk like on the balcony.
Okay. Oh, yeah. If there's like coffee or something, he like shakily grabs one, but not shakily like scared, like crackhead energy, shakily like
crackhead energy, yeah.
Yeah. Also, real quick, Kyle, Kubo's gonna look at you real quick and just kind of try to whisper this, but it's probably still to everyone like, can I say what you said that you knew about the torture? Okay, thank you.
I love the mid donut eating. Yeah, whatever.
Kubo's just gonna quickly shotgun this coffee, like,
waiting for the coffee to kick in. He's that type.
It's good for him, honestly.
You and Peregrine go out onto like a little balcony. There are a couple like palm fronds, kind of at chest level, because you guys are above ground level here. And the Peregrine's like, this was one of the first chill mornings we've had in a while. What the hell, Kubo? I know things have been hard, but what the hell?
Don't try to shame me. Don't
Hey,
shame me for
we pay
showing.
our butlers really well. We
Oh, that was
don't pay
horrible.
them to be hit in the head with doors.
That was an accident. I did heal
was an
him.
accident. It
I
was
did
an
heal him. Did heal him. That was an accident. Here's the deal. And then Kubo, real quick, is just gonna state about how there's this weird moment where he woke up and he was in Savage's skin, and they had already taken his eye, and they were like cutting at him or something, and how the information that he had been given wasn't enough, and maybe this will help us out somehow with our actual main goal. Like we're trying to find whatever you call it.
Peterson.
You know, thanks, Peterson. And maybe like the dwarves are too, because you haven't told me yet, Peregrine, like what information you gave Savage, but like if this is coordinating, maybe we could save him and also assassinate the senator. Or, you know.
Okay, so I rolled a deception check for him, and I did it with disadvantage because you did totally disrupt the morning. It's the first thing in the morning. He did get a 1 and a 2. And so he like puts his fingers to his mouth, and you can tell he knew everything you told him, except that the information wasn't enough. He knew he was being tortured. He knew that you were going to be able to feel some of it and that he could feel some of it. He knew what's happening to Savage.
Come the fuck on. No, actually, out loud, yeah, Koopa's just like, oh, fuck this! And he throws the empty coffee cup, like, out to wherever, just out there.
Out into the street?
Yeah. And just...
That is so, what's the word? Breaking Bad energy, just like...
Listen, it just turns around, it's like, okay, so, whatever, we've... God damn it! We've been trying.
There better not have been coffee wasted in that. You hear Kyle yell from the other room.
Yeah, we cut back into the room, and Beza's got like her head down like this, eyes wide, like, ooh, like totally.
Can they hear everything? Because Kubo's not done. Kubo, real quick, is gonna turn and be like, "So, what the fuck were you gonna tell me? Does this affect Deza too? Can we all just feel and wake up in his body? Can he wake up in ours?"
No. Look, I gave you a lot of power recently, and it takes a while for things to kind of. You're not supposed to be able to do that normally. It's something I'm able to do, kind of as your parent and an angel. It's not normal. It'll go away. I'm gonna get rid of it, so don't worry about it.
Help him.
It's what he signed up for. He knew it was
Help
risk.
him. How do
Do
we help
what?
him? Survive?
Kubo, he knew what he was signing up for. Yeah, it sucks. He's lost an eye. He'll probably lose a couple more things. But he's doing what he signed up for, and he's getting the information that he wants, and they're gonna trust him more.
But what is he? How is he? What if they just fucking kill him? They're just gonna fucking kill him. They don't have. What the hell? What do we do then, Dad?
You're stressed. You're stressed. It's a lot to take in.
You can be in denial as much as you want. Okay? Do something. If you won't let me do something, you do something. Or if you're not gonna tell me how to help, do something. Do I have to do a ceremony? Do I have to do a ritual? And this is the moment where maybe everyone inside is like, oh god, because Kubo's like, I have to like kill a cat for you. Like, you know.
Like, no offerings. Okay. Kubo, I promise your brother will not die. Savage will not die. Okay, that is an angel's promise. I'm gonna shake on it. You understand?
Shakes your hand, and he tries to like have a stronger grip than Peregrine. I'll actually, if you care, I'm gonna do a strength check.
A little strength check for sure. Yeah,
oh no, I only got a 10. So actually, that's honestly more funny to me given the circumstances.
Disadvantage. He got double 17s.
Yeah, good for him.
He is immense. He is a very large being.
Tried to flex on a. Okay, well, you know what? All right. Well, now this is over. I think he's gonna just kind of go back into the room. Maybe grab like a bagel, cream cheese it up, and then he's just gonna kind of go back up to his room.
You come in. I mean, Kuba. I imagine Kyle hasn't changed at all in his appearance outside of just like, don't waste.
No,
time.
there's just the color of the donut that he's eating has changed. It's clear he's on a different donut now, but the otherwise just
Kyle.
basically just a looping GIF.
Yeah.
I think Deza looks up and kind of has like wide eyes and tries to get a read on you as you pass.
Not to be rude, he's just gonna walk out of there unless someone like grabs him. He's probably also muttering under his breath, probably something about like stupid fucking packs, everyone's magical, but no one actually can do anything to do anything. Oh my god, and he just leaves.
What muttering and what?
No, he's just you can understand him. He's whatever common.
Says Ariana says, "We'll have them save you a plate, darling, after you freshened up." As you're like walking out, kind of grumbling.
I love her, but also I'm like, oh, jeez.
I'm so sorry. All the family drama.
This family's a nightmare. No, I'm just kidding.
This fam slams the door. Okay. So we're gonna.
Man, I'm kind of glad to be an orphan.
You say that after I leave. It's so funny.
So the camera that just saw the door slam as Kubo left pans over to Kyle and his donut, and then we see the paper in front of him. And I'm gonna kind of give you guys some lore dump on what's happening. Is that all good?
Yeah, Deza will tell me.
Yeah, she'd tell you afterward. Yeah, this is all public knowledge for sure. A bunch of information here. First off, and this will be like stuff that Kyle would know through being kind of more street smart, but everyone would know pretty quickly as it became more clear. As hard as it is going to be to find Senator Peterson and kill him / negotiate with him / whatever it is, he has made himself a challenge that is equally difficult, because not only does he have to remain in hiding for the next about 3 weeks, but at the end of those 3 weeks, he has to get himself to the Capitol building without being murdered, intervened, stopped, anything like that, at the end of those 3 weeks. So basically, like, he has a very difficult challenge ahead of him, but like logistically, politically, because like it's hard to even like you think like, oh, they could smuggle him in. Like, the points of contact required to make that happen would almost definitely involve a tiefling or an Aasimar or someone that would be interested in killing him. And so it's like the logistical challenge of him getting from wherever he's hiding to the Capitol building is monstrous. And it's like, and there's a lot of like political theory articles, and unfortunately we kind of have reference for this in our own lives that are like, man, what an interesting exploitation of the system, how, and a lot of people that are not divine beings who aren't having their personhood challenged are very like, wow, such an interesting event. Oh, I can't imagine the founding fathers imagined this. And all the people are like, yeah, how interesting. We're dying. We are going to die if we fail. Like, and so there's a lot of this going on here. Police brutality has increased dramatically. It's kind of helped that, being a fantasy setting, things are just more brutal in general. And so police, aren't really able to just go out in the streets and beat people up. But like, if someone's in a Capitol building or any official place and they can give reason to believe that they're a threat, they can just fully kill a person. Like, and so like the Capitol building is a dangerous place to be. A lot of places in the world are a dangerous place to be. Basically, if it's official enough that a police person has a reason to be there, they can kill you. And so it's like a lot of places people are not being as common. Like normally I would have a lot of foot traffic. There's a lot of paranoia now. If you guys want to roll me Arcana checks or insights on kind of the whole Senator Peterson problem, I'm going to give some more color to it based on what you roll.
Oh, I got a 20 for insight.
Ooh, nat 20 there? That's great. Or
30 20.
30
20.
Dirty 21 for insight.
Great.
Look at us, roll high rollers.
high rollers. So here's some information that Kyle, we'll start with what Kubo knows, and then we'll kind of make a jump over to Kyle for this last little juicy bit of information, because you guys both is going to get the same information here. Senator Peterson has basically one of three options. One, he smuggles himself there, which is probably, in terms of cost, but safety, the best option. Basically, he'll just have to find a route to smuggle himself to the Capitol building. Oh yeah, that's a great, no, that totally makes sense. Basically, you know, that's like the most expensive and the safest option. That's simple. Second option is like an official entourage, which is paramount to suicide for him. If he were to like get in a motor vehicle, get a crew to take him to the Capitol building, as bad as things are right now, just like a mob would kill him. Like he would be in active danger. Probably not the best option. The third option, and probably the most likely, is some weird magic shit, which at this point in the world's history may as well just be a section of every history book, because it's like, like the third option, like there's like a book about political theory that's like the third option. And this would be something like teleporting or magical negotiations with nymphs, or
I like how they talk about, reporters being like the fourth estate. I feel like in a world like this, magic is the fifth estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's really like, and so you guys are both coming to that realization of like, okay, he must have something wild and crazy and weird as his plan to get back to the Capitol to vote, and I think the thing that Kyle gets that Kubo doesn't is there is a lot of very powerful magic in the world that is basically dormant. And this is kind of like a kind of world lore stuff, is like truly great wizards only come around every couple centuries. And the last time that seemed to happen was the founding of Remalin. And so like nobody has like routinely practiced like teleportation and some of these incredible acts of magic since the founding of Remalin, basically. There just haven't been that same, these founding father figures. I made some joke names, but I think they're funny enough to share. Warge Joshington and Heifer Jamilton, two great examples of founding fathers that, Heifer Jamilton is one of my favorite. But these are like some of these wizards, political minds, artificers that founded Remalin, and feats of magic like that haven't come up since. And so the chances that he just like full on is going to teleport into the Capitol building, pretty low. But the chances that he has some other weird magical chicanery going on, pretty high. And so like he's not going to full on be able to like cheat, just like phase through the walls here, but he's got some weird side plan.
Okay.
Most likely. Or he could just be an idiot and he's going to like do the motorcade in. But that's kind of what that insight gives you. And, what a lot of newspapers are saying as well, is it's like, he's got to have a third plan. Like,
so when it comes to planning now, is this easier for you, Kyle? Can we just talk like this? Like, unless we need to roleplay something, get heavy into it. But so like, for instance, something I've been thinking of that we can discuss and may or may not be cool. So Ariana has a lot of ties to the Capitol, and I don't know if this is possible, but we could ask her if she has any like ongoing cases, or if anyone's asked her to be at the Capitol. Maybe she could, like, worst case scenario, we can't find him before the vote. What if she could smuggle us in with her using our disguises, because we already have one? And then like we just kind of lie in wait right in the like actual what's the word I'm looking for? Like we are literally there already, kind of a thing, I guess. Hidden in plain sight. There you go.
Kill him on the way to vote. That'd be wild.
Well, either or he's already in there. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You have a gun, and then maybe Kyle rolls his eyes like, I don't.
What? No.
You could have a gun. And you could just take
I don't know what that is.
We'll teach you. But that's one of Kubo's ideas. Like, as a worst case scenario, nothing else works.
Well, I have a slightly worse case scenario, maybe. Well, I have a slightly more dangerous and dumb idea. And another thing that I could think of to try. Well, my first option is, well, the people that he's gonna want to be smuggled back in, he's gonna contact smugglers. I know those people. I could potentially get us involved in whatever crew is supposed to escort him to the place, and then we kill him kill him en route, or capture him first, preferably.
Also, help Kubo could wear his disguise so they don't know that he's an ASMR unless,
Right. Yeah, and I mean I can do physical stuff too.
To kind of join you in this planning session here, I think Ariana would be very amenable to that plan. And based on your preparation, it would be pretty easy to get you guys into the capital using her. But not as easy as it would be on a normal day when there wasn't a politic, huge vote.
So Kyle, you should go ask your contacts and see how hard it is for us to join. Kubo can go with you. I'm not like sending up on your own, obviously, but but if that plan falls through or it doesn't work or like it's a trap, at least we can rely on Ariana, kind of a thing.
I do have another plan to draw him out earlier that's a little more abstract.
Okay. Or sorry, this is more theatrical. Like, I'm listening. There we go.
I disguise myself as the senator, using my various features to make a perfect disguise and perfectly imitate his speech patterns. I give a hate speech, basically, on the docks, and we assassinate me.
This is delightfully devilish.
So I'm thinking we prepare this in such a way that my body can be quickly recovered and restored. But I figure one of a couple of things will happen. He'll be forced into the light in order to, prove that he's not dead, giving us a chance to actually kill him. Or at the very least, it'll start rumors that he is dead and therefore replaced by some kind of, entity that may not have our best interests at heart. The people that are his supporters are clearly psychotic,
yes,
conspiracy theory types.
Yes. No, not to cut you off. Please keep going. But yes, 100% Kubo's down for this. And again, worst comes to worst, he still shows up. Then that means that we have an easier chance maybe of being stuck with Ariana, because if people don't think he's real, we can kill the real him. Like, there's a lot more chances if we can do this.
Jake, yeah, this is what I tried to warn you about last night.
It's a good plan.
Kyle, also, you should know now, Kubo has like 3 different healing things too now, or spells or stuff he can do. So there's a couple of tries too to make sure like you definitely wouldn't really die if we killed you or somebody shot you or whatever.
So these would be things that Deza would bring up if she was kind of brainstorming with you guys here. I think in my mind, the plan has only a handful of problems, very few, honestly. One is legitimacy. You need to get enough of his followers to think that you're him, that they panic and think that he's actually dead and forced to see confirmation he's alive, basically. Because otherwise, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like a weird news story that's pretty quickly disproven as a hoax. Mm-hmm. And so you'd have to find some way to gain legit, like what's the word? Like
authenticated?
I can't think of the word right now, but basically people have to believe that you're actually him outside of your appearance. And I have no doubt that you could disguise yourself and not mimic his voice and all that stuff, but you'd have to get some form of other legitimacy,
Kubo would real quick cut Deza off and be like, well, just Kyle, maybe your friend, could help you with that. Doesn't she have connections?
So what I was kind of thinking was, I mean, we need to do something that so we got like 3 weeks basically. Is there any major like civic event, or like, is there a new like boat or ship being christened or something like that at the docks? Something big where, you know, somebody like that might show up and give a speech, especially since, if as I recall, he's like head of the labor union or whatever. Is that how he like originally came to power?
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I just love dumb wordplay so much. So the Citanin is this giant, beautiful ship. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You hated that so much.
First of all, it would be the Senatit.
The Senatit. Excuse me. I didn't do backwards. I was doing some shuffle of
Oh,
words.
you're doing okay. All right. I see what you're doing.
No, we will say that there is a. I'm better than that. We can be better than that. There is
better than that.
There is a large boat being christened that has involved a lot of labor work. It has kind of been like a symbol of new jobs in the city, you know.
Okay.
That will probably be happening in like another week and a half or so. Second problem that she brings up: however well you do this, you need to make sure that it has enough press coverage that people believe it, and other people don't attempt to successfully assassinate you as you're doing the speech, besides the fake assassination.
Okay, so like worst case scenario, and again, I hope it's okay. I'm not really talking like Kubo right now, but he
No,
would
it's
bring
fine.
up the point of like, so let's say though, maybe instead of planning on how to protect Kyle from other assassins, like that would work out well for us, but we just need to make sure that whoever's around him, however he dies, either you, Deza, or Kubo needs to be there as a part of his entourage disguise to heal him, even if it's secretly. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, as long as we have access to an actual like raise dead spell, or like the I mean, we can honestly play it so that I could be assassinated by anyone. But what I was thinking more was, it would probably be better for us if whoever killed me wasn't actually divine, because
Yeah.
then it might prevent like making a martyr type situation out of it.
What if we all look at Leo in this moment? Because he's a half elf too, right? Just
That's true, but he has the divine connection from this. I thought it would be super funny if I would try to get Adlyria to do it.
oh, there's the connection. Kubo does say, "Oh, okay, yeah, go for it."
So this is an attempt to bring your lady friend into it.
I mean, if this is a good time to ask now, DM. So I mean, I have cure wounds. I have the laying on of hands, and I think I have something else that I can't find at the moment. Would you allow it? Like, so let's say that obviously Kyle gets shot or whatever, however he gets killed. Could I still use a spell, or could maybe Deza have the raise dead spell, or is that too much? Like,
So I will openly allow that. Basically, assuming you can get Peregrine to agree to this plan, he would give you the resources to cast the spell. A Revivify is like a diamond. And so basically, you're asking him for like 3 months' wages to perform this task. And that'd be like 3 months' wages for like a normal upper class worker kind of person. Like, this is not a small amount of money.
Revivify is 3rd level, and it would be 300 gold worth of diamond dust, technically. And like actual raise dead, you have a much bigger wind, but Revivify, you have to get to my body and cast it inside of a minute.
okay.
Raise dead, you'd have a longer window, but you need a diamond worth 500 gold, which whatever that is in this.
I think either way, whichever is easier. I mean, we can roleplay it if we need, but like low key, if he's gonna try to be stingy now, Kubo will allow the points that number 1, I died. Number 2 is like my brother's being tortured. Number 3, if we don't succeed, like everyone who is divine or in front, like whatever, right, like is gonna get horribly hurt. So like this is worth it. This is worth it.
Plus, I like the idea of him actually being briefly dead, because I think it'd be fun to make Jacob decide whether or not Kyle goes to heaven or hell. And
oh my gosh, that would be so fun.
Oh man. So yeah, so we've got 3 very interesting choices here. Draw him out earlier with a fake assassination.
And I figure since that one, since that boat event or whatever is in a week and a half, and he's not there for 3 weeks, we might as well try this one first. And then if it doesn't work, then we can look into the other opportunities.
Yeah, we have like 2 other plans if this one doesn't work. So Kubo feels good.
Okay, so this is gliding very smoothly in terms of like narrative flow, which is very fun. So other news that you would know, Kubo, that Kyle might not know, but he might know if he like thought about it for a second. Because public spaces are less safe because of police activity, some of the more underground casinos and places that the Cadroses control have seen a lot more business and a lot more income over the past like week or so. Basically, like the police are running around all the popular places, so all the seedy, underground, less legal places are getting more activity. And so I will say we can roleplay this as Peregrine, but if you do persuasion rules to ask for more money, you will definitely get advantage because income is at a much higher rate than normal for the Cadros household. So he's not going to be stingy.
I got a 21 for persuasion. Can we just we can roleplay it if you want, but
I think we're okay. I think that actually kind of fits it because I think he will see you come in and then try to give you anything within his power to avoid having to talk to you directly about this real awkward miscommunication. So yeah, that's bad. I'm sorry.
Love that for you.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I should have him do other drugs. Anyways,
No way.
Yes.
So yes, I will say that you have enough, and he will give you a plan and a backup plan. So you have enough for the Revivify, and if that doesn't work or you need to do a double, you have enough for the gem. I will stress, I think for both of those, all of his organs have to be in place. He has to have all
that was the other reason he wanted Adlyria, because he didn't trust Kubo to not just like chop giant chunks out of him.
I mean, that's fair, because exactly, I don't have a gun.
He was not going to say it, but I'm going to say it.
Well, and I'll also say, in a magical context, assuming any other assassin that would try to kill you would know what they're doing and be intentional, they would be intentionally trying to kill you in a way that you can't be revivified. And so they would be going for organs. They'd be trying to assassinate you in a way that would make it impossible to bring you back. So it's a real gamble. This is for real. Like if it goes wrong, Kyle could be his last heist kind of a thing. But
exciting. Yeah. We won't let that happen though. There's too many funny moments to have with our Kyle.
Yeah.
What would Kyle do without Kubo? I don't know.
I mean, working through the list of the things that we need to do to make we need to make sure there's enough coverage. What do you think about potentially trying to get your dad to like kind of push a protest of like divine supporters onto descending on that area, maybe bribing them with like casino chips?
Honestly, I feel like he'd be for it, but honestly, Kubo would probably say we should ask Ariana because she has more like legit connections. So that like when the news comes over, they're not look at these like trashy divine. It's like divine tour, well known in the city kind of a thing. Maybe it would make it seem more it would also potentially make you seem more legit, because let's say that Ariana is able to like spread the news and it's people who like own like businesses and like famous restaurants, or maybe also did stuff in politics, and they show up. That'll be a lot more than you just showing up and there's like a bunch of drunks from the bar. Not to be rude, but like, you know what I mean? Like that would help add to your validity. I mean, Peregrine can still help with that, I'm sure, but like
Okay.
I think let's roleplay.
Kyle just has more familiarity with Peregrine, so why he'd go there. But with your suggestions, that would be
It's okay. Kubo,
So let's roleplay. Would Kubo or Kyle go in to talk to Ariana about this?
Kubo's gonna go in, but Kyle, you're welcome if you want. It's not like you can't come in.
I mean, if it's your family, I'd probably have you take the lead, but I mean, Considering
Okay,
this idea involved me potentially dying, I'm gonna be pretty involved with every stage of the planning process. So just assume I'm there.
right.
That makes sense.
Okay.
So you walk
Okay.
into Ariana's office, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably after I will have penned a message that I need to get in touch with that Lyria and sent that through one of the butlers or
Gotcha.
whatever.
So Kubo, you go in first. Kyle is behind to kind of be there for it. How would you enter the room, Kubo?
I think, for instance, Kubo's like fully dressed now in his normal clothes, sort of thing. Um, and then whatever. I think that he like kind of rap on the door. That's such a fancy way to say knock. You know, like knock knock, and just be like, mothers, do you mind if we talk to you some more about?
Oh, yes, come on in, sweetheart. Yes. Would you come into the office?
I mean, yeah, Kubo does. Kubo will like kind of motion to you if you don't on your own.
Kyle walks in, and I'm gonna overhaul your mom. I'm gonna Shanghai your mom's decor a little bit here. Kyle is looking. There's a chandelier in there, and Kyle is spending a lot of time staring at it.
I think that's a very easy Shanghai. Yeah, that's easy to give you. Yeah, you come into the room.
Looks like
Beautiful, beautiful like glass conference room in the center with this chandelier, many faceted above it. It's, you know, if she opens the window a crack, it's blinding in this room. There's so much refraction. But yeah, she comes into you. She is very professional. She is in full lawyer mode right now. She's got kind of like the half spectacles kind of beneath her nose to look down at papers. And she kind of looks up from where she's sitting. She has, you know, a series of long cigarettes ready to be smoked and one that's currently on the ashtray. And she looks up at you and goes, "Yes, sweetheart." She stands as you enter.
Can we just talk like this again? I'm sorry. If we're gonna keep planning, I think it's faster to talk like this.
That's
I'm
fine.
not gonna force you at all,
It's
Matthew. But Kubo just is going to basically be lay it out for her what they're asking for her to do in terms of like to help with the validity of this fake assassination plot. Can you reach out to some of your contacts and like organize a peaceful protest that will probably become not peaceful, but you know, at the docks during this thing?
She shuffles around some papers on her desk and like produces an already signed and like documented paper, and she's like, "Done. People are already angry. I don't need to organize much. Many of the non-divine people are already furious enough to do demonstrations."
Kubo gives like an honest, very natural, like probably the biggest smile that she's seen from him in like a long time. And he's just like, "Oh, you're the best." And he takes it and he looks at Kyle and he's like, "Anything else?"
In a perfect imitation of Ariana's voice. No, I think that will be all.
Okay.
That's uncomfy. She reaches into her desk, pulls out like a small bundle of gold and plays it on the desk. And she looks over to Kyle and goes, "Kyle, may I ask for a favor?"
You want me to stop doing that?
No, please. I know.
Oh, okay, yeah, great. Sure. What's up?
My son is so wound up. She walks over and like grabs his shoulder and like feels your muscles kind of shift, also as you go around. "Will you take him out to one of our casinos and let him have some fun? This is all yours. You know, whatever you don't spend, you get to keep."
Kubo is girding his teeth. He just kind of like, you know, like those fake smiles. He just looks at his mother, and then he like is like, "Thank you so much."
Sure. I don't see why not.
I'm bringing Deza.
She goes, "She's old enough. Yeah. Just try to keep her out of the more X-rated areas."
Oh,
Okay,
God.
not to be rude, Deza doesn't have to go in, but Kubo is going to immediately just want to go to the strip club or the equivalent of whatever that is.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna have Lyria meet us there and just make this just a. Let's just turn this into a party crawl session. Woo!
Leo can come too. I know that he's not here. I don't know what he would do.
Yeah, have him basically be there.
If we're really feeling crazy, Jofield comes along.
So that he can get in. I'll make him a fake ID so that he can get in and stuff. Because he's like
I
7.
think I think Leo, you go to offer that, and it just happens to be the night, just for simplicity, the night that Joran is going to be here.
Oh.
But we will say that Jophiel for sure is like, well, if he's not going, I'm going. And she will make sure to come with you guys.
Can I get drinks
I
with
don't know if an
Jophiel,
angel would be a
please?
lot of fun to take on a bar crawl.
Kubo is like, oh, suit yourself, and he just follows Jophiel out the door.
Well, all right. Well, that message that I sent to Adlaria was, told her to meet me at the whatever place we're ending up to go. We're going first. You get to name the strip club. Unless you want me to do it.
Call it Cora's Den. Just kidding.
That would be quite the reference. Let me see. I'm trying to think of a good one.
Does Daisa come with us? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Spearmint elephant.
I'm thinking something with slip. I'm trying to think of something. The serpentine slip. Something like that. Something.
It could just be that, honestly.
The serpentine slip. We will call it the serpentine slip. And it's kind of like, this is kind of accidentally a Skyrim reference, but there's like a lizard folk woman like in neon with like her dress pulled up as one of the like the advertising.
The lusty Argonian maid.
Exactly, it's the lusty Argonian maid. Ah!
That's not why I made it the serpentine slip, but it's too perfect.
Does Daisa come along? I need to know.
I think she would. I think she would get to them and just kind of roll her eyes at Kubo when you guys actually got to the strip club in question.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm not your dad, mom, whatever. You do whatever. I'm not going in. We will say
see you at the bar.
Sorry, what?
Oh, Kubo tells her that he'll just meet her at the bar. I'm assuming that since they've like been raised around these places, they just have a favorite bar.
For sure. You guys have a place to go. Kyle, she agrees to meet you there at Laria, but she tells you it's like basically it's girls' night, so I'm gonna be meeting you there with some friends.
I'm so afraid. I cannot even stress how afraid I am for Kubo.
Oh my god. Now I can we move up the whole killing me thing? Is the message I send back.
She just sends back like a kiss mark on a piece of paper. The what is it?
Have you seen The Other Guys?
Sorry, what?
Jophiel.
Have you guys seen the movie The Other Guys with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell?
Not off the top of my head, no. Sorry.
I do want to talk to Jophiel if we can at some point, but I don't want to get away from the fun of everything.
We'll say we're waiting for Adlaria to show up with her crew, and Deza hasn't separated from you guys. You're still waiting for her to show up. And Jophiel's just standing outside of like the neon sign, and she's like, so this is about lizard folk anatomy. This is a store dedicated to that. Is that right?
Actually, Kubo just says out loud, like, oh god. Like, in a way, it's an appreciation of it, I guess you could say.
Interesting. I'm totally fucking with you. I know exactly.
Well, I'm sitting here holding the golden cube, just like.
Was that you cocking your gun?
No, it's my cube that takes pictures.
Oh
my god! That's insane. Kubo kind of like wait. I would have to make a check, I guess, to see that. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm actually not real. I'm not being that subtle about it.
Okay, I'm just gonna say if he saw you do it, he would just kind of
what the cube does. Nobody else would look at the cube and be like, that guy's, that's a camera.
But I do just think he would still just kind of give you like a little look where like squint the eyes, just kind of like, what's he doing over there? But he doesn't say anything. He's just like, sus. Leaves it at that.
Okay, so I'm gonna narrate what happens as Adlaria shows up. She shows up in an extremely swanky limousine, and there are 5 other women with her as she gets out of the limousine. I'm gonna label them off so that you guys kind of know both how many opportunities you have here as well as how royally screwed you are. There is Llewellyn with Odina, her assistant. And so that is the PI and her assistant. There is a tabaxi woman that is in a very, very revealing dress and is like clearly very comfortable here. Then there is also a, let me see, so that's
3, 4.
yes, so that's 4, including Adleria. So she's coming with 4 other people, excuse me. I think that's right. I gotta make sure I get this right. So Llewellyn, Odina, this tabaxi woman you don't know the name of. And then there is one other woman that is the most mysterious, but she's the most mysterious not because you don't know her, but because you all know her. She is a large socialite, very famous, and she has direct connections with the Corin household. And her name is Ephraim Jamed.
Okay. Also, this is interesting. I don't think Kubo ever met Llewellyn, so this will be...
Yeah, no, this is definitely your first time meeting Llewellyn. And Ephraim Jamed, we'll say that the last woman is just clearly like an escort from the Corin household that is like a butler, basically just keeping on with Ephraim and kind of their retinue. But yeah, they all step out of the car. Are you disguised in any way, Kubo, or?
No, he's not.
Okay. A lot of things happen. Who are people wanting to make like visual connections with as they walk up to the bar, the strip club, the combo bar strip club?
I'm gonna let Kyle speak first because
Adleria? I mean,
Kyle, so lovely to see you. There's some twittering immediately. Llewellyn's like, oh, it's been some time. Odina looks immediately upset to be here, period.
Kubo rolled an 18 on insight. I don't know if I just want one of like all the ladies or if I have to do like one person, but I think that he was immediately incredibly like uncomfortable because this is very scary to him. Just all the new people, I mean.
Yeah. I think Kyle, if you want to roll me an insight as well, so that we'll kind of get 2 flavors of this. First thing you realize, Kyle, they look at you as if you are staff of this establishment. They are going out for a night out of town that's a little less than legal in one of your strip clubs, and they're just like, ooh, they rolled out the red carpet for us. They have some of the owners here, and that's how they kind of look at you and Deza.
Okay, Kubo was gonna make a side eye to Deza, and instead of like whatever, like ahaha, like I'll meet you later, it's just immediately like, help me, don't leave me.
Don't leave me. 2 things, because that's a pretty high roll. You see immediate eyes lock between the tabaxi woman and Jophiel. Jophiel immediately like does a scan, and they kind of have like a long eye connection, not of recognition, just of like implicit interest kind of a thing, just like intrigue. And then you will also see between Deza and Odina, just kind of like oh, we're the young tagalongs that we're too young to be here. Like,
yeah.
I lean over and whisper, and then Deza's here. That's a dragon. Don't piss it off.
Deza's like, what?
What?
I will say too.
Oh yeah, you didn't know that either. That one's a dragon. Don't piss it off. Adleria is a dragon too, but in a different way.
I love it. You see them muttering and whispering some things to each other out of earshot as they walk up as well.
Oh, I assume I'm being judged, yeah.
Also, it's kind of interesting because like you can't hear anyone talk because they're talking quietly, except for Ephraim. And Ephraim is known to be like a infamous. She's like a silver dragon, and she is a dragon socialite that is humanoid, many hundreds of years old, famous for awesome.
Oh, Ephraim's a dragon?
What?
Ephraim's a dragon?
Yeah, she is a socialite. She is a full, like, well-established, like, she is a, she's basically like the equivalent of like a model Like she's like a magical
Yeah.
model in that
Yeah,
context.
I missed the dragon thing.
No,
Okay.
you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that like, yeah, they say, oh, she's a dragon. She has not been seen outside of humanoid form in decades. Like she just does not. She is not.
I was warning about Odinin being or Odina.
I know.
Okay. Oh, okay. All
Um,
right.
But I think with the 18, that's like something you guys pick up on is basically like as much as this is the girls' night out, this is Odina meeting another dragon and kind of having someone to relate to a little bit.
Kubo feels bad that he made this happen at a strip club.
I don't. I am. So, I mean, I am. I'm gonna pat just grab you by the shoulder and be like, good choice of venue. Very proud of you.
Kubo was this
You're
close.
learning.
You can't see, but Kubo was this close to just sobbing, just panic crying.
You look a little upset. There's probably a guy in the bathroom selling something for that.
Oh my god.
I promise I don't intentionally set these up to make Kubo squirm after he makes like a less than moral decision, but it just always works out that way.
Well, he hasn't gone into the strip club yet. Jeez, I mean.
No, it's just wonderful because it's like I gotta get to a strip club, and then like, oh yeah, I'll bring some friends along. Who are your friends?
Jesus.
We done.
It's great. So
The invite avalanche.
So you guys meet up here. We can role play some individual interactions, but to say some things like overall, Eferen is at both times the most socially involved and communicative and loud person, but is also kind of like a social smokescreen. Basically, because she's here, everyone's on their best behavior and no one bothers you because they're just like, oh, they're a big deal. She kind of gives you like a separation of status that keeps you safe from basically being pried on or, you know, any of that kind of thing. She's, oh, look at this grimy place. You can't go anywhere else, of course, because of all those police throwing around their guns. Miserable time, I do swear. Adlyria very confidently just like funnels her around. Arguably, Adlyria's role with getting in with the Corin household has been like 90% getting used to this woman. Yeah, you guys enter in. Llewellyn is, you know, hard-boiled as ever and looks bored to tears. But yeah, you guys enter in this. Yeah.
Sorry, keep talking.
No. Just so you know, because you guys don't have to go inside, but this strip club is basically like a casino, strip club, a lot of things mashed into one. And it's pretty famous for having a really active basement where there's like prize fighting and marksman competitions and just like more gutsy kind of like punchy stuff that's less sexual and more like underground, like cockfighting kind of a thing.
Okay. Kubo now is gonna kind of stick to Dezo's side, which is sort of lame, but I feel like the wind's out of his sails a bit. he's an introvert. I don't know. This isn't.
Dezo will like actively push you, like, introduce yourself.
Oh, I am become heir.
Well, like, are any of them talking to Kubo? Do any of them like they? You told me that a lot of them just kind of thought that we were the staff. So if none of them are gonna like be like, oh, you're with Kyle or something, Kubo's just gonna melt into the background.
I think before you're able to do that, Efferden would produce some like gold and basically be like, oh, we will take one of your private rooms on the balcony level. If there's not a balcony level, then just the most expensive one. And if there's the shirtless option, we'll go with that. She kind of twitters at Odina, who just looks repulsed by this woman.
I think Kubo just no, just kidding. No, he doesn't start sobbing. That's funny, love me. I think Kubo just kind of takes the gold and laughs, and he's like, "Oh, my dear, no, don't worry." Gives the gold back and is like, I am not one of the staff, but I am one of the family. So I'll just go ahead, and I'm happy to get, your request put in. We'll get you ahead of the line, so to speak. No worries. Yeah.
Ooh, one of the family. How wonderful! I didn't know you had all that beautiful skin. Ooh. She like grabs your hand, feels kind of your strange, pigmentation.
Jesus. Sorry. Kumo is fighting for his life. He's so uncomfortable. But I do think he would kind of be like, oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking at Lyria dead in the eyes with an expression of, why would you do this to me?
And then Kubo's just gonna do that. You guys can do. He's just gonna immediately be like, "One of the staff, like, please."
You try to funnel them off to staff. Adlaria looks to you and with like thieves can't / mental communication, she's like, "No warning, night off. What do you think I was gonna do?" Like,
go take my son out for a good time. Q, 20 minutes in, Kubo's having just a panic attack in the back. This is incredible.
Beautiful.
So as things settle, let me tell you what things will happen naturally without your involvement, and then let you tell me what will happen if you like if you want to change things up a little bit. Basically, Odina will spend like this much time with Efferden. Efferden is this glorious-looking silver, like ensconced woman, extremely buxom, exposing as much like flesh as possible without.
Do we know what color Odina is? Sorry to interrupt.
Odina's green. Odina's a green dragon, but much younger, much younger. And basically, they hang out just long enough that Llewellyn is like, she's gotten her dragon enrichment, and has met another dragon. I'm good. You know what I mean? I've done my motherly duty. And
at the strip club?
What?
I said at the strip club. Sorry, no, keep going. But
she's helping with her development as a dragon, right? Getting some, other context.
Well, in the bet they probably didn't know exactly what the plan was until, like, the note hit Adlyria and like, oh yeah, no, we're going here.
Yeah, you can see
your fault.
You can see Llewellyn pulls aside Adlyria and is like, "What the hell? I'm trying to raise a woman here." Like.
In the corner, Kubo's just crying. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Keep going.
But basically, after they hang out for literally like 30 minutes tops, Odina would go back down to like the central area where there's like more casino. There's aren't like strippers just about in this area, and she would basically just hang out with Deza, and they would just kind of have casual conversation and just kind of get to know each other a little bit. Jophiel disappears into the private room with the Tabaxi and Efferden and all of them. Llewellyn would go down into the basement immediately. She's got some dirt to pick up and some contacts to reach out to. She's doing her information broker job. And then I think that's everyone. Efferden would basically just be vibing in her room. And unless you guys go in there, you don't really know what's happening.
I'd be trying to put together a poker table with Adlyria and whoever else would join, so that I have a nice opportunity to talk with her while still being in public doing something.
My dog just brought me a tortilla chip. What the heck?
Oh, that's awesome.
What?
You set up. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead. I'll put it in the chat.
Say that again. I can't. I'm sorry.
Nothing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He was talking. Okay.
Okay, you're good. So you set up this poker table. I think Adlyria would join you, and then the Tabaxi, Efferden, and Jophiel would stay up in that room, and they'd basically be enjoying strippers, of the male variety. But then downstairs at the table, Llewellyn would still be downstairs getting more information. But basically, Odina and Deza would basically look to be dealt in, kind of to pay their tuition because they don't have a lot of experience with cards. They'd be at the table as well, just kind of conversing with you guys. What would Kubo like to do?
I don't know, man. Honestly, first thing he's gonna do is he's gonna go to the bar, and maybe that translates to Daisy's like, "Oh yeah, Dinah, this is my brother," and Kubo's like, and he just goes, and he's gonna get a little buzz on, maybe just enough, not like he's drunk, but just a little, And then honestly, I feel like, I don't know, he doesn't want to play cards. Maybe he'd go just see what Llewellyn's doing before he leaves. I'm sure, like, maybe Odina and Daisy are, like, having this wonderful, hopefully, friendship building or something. And then Kubo's just sad, and he's like, I don't know. I just feel like Savage or Feral would know more what to do now than me. I'm not good at this, Daisa. And Daisa's just kind of like,
Oh, let me just, for the fun of it, because we will role play that a little bit. You know, you get your drink, you come back to the bar. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. How about an 18? Whoops.
If you did not have the control of yourself / had been through such dramatic stuff recently, you'd be having a panic attack. But because you're you're a little more comfortable than you were before you had fully joined the family, you got your name even though you don't use it, you have a little more authority to be here. So I think, like, you feel yourself starting to reach a panic attack, you're able to keep it under control physiologically, you know, for whatever reason, you're able to control your panic attack. But basically you go over to Deza and she'll just be like, dude, pull yourself together. If you don't want to relax, at least do something useful.
Okay.
Be good?
No. I mean, yes, but no.
I think she has.
Are we whispering while Odina is right there? Is Odina just watching? Like Daisa slaps me, and I'm like,
Odina just kind of was looking off to the side. So I think she would introduce you. Hey, Kubo, this is Odina. We just kind of met. She's kind of also a young person in the group. You're a dragon, right?
Cool.
Yeah, I'm a dragon. Don't stress about it. It's just a humanoid
That's
thing.
really
We just
cool.
live a long time.
Yeah. My dad's a fallen angel. It's nice to meet you. Our dad. Sorry, Daisa.
Deza's like, yeah, he is. She's like, isn't that a secret? She's like, oh no, Llewellyn mentioned that to me at some point. No, it's cool. It's cool.
Okay, I'm sensing that I'm a little off-putting, so I'm gonna go do something else.
No, you're great. You're great. Do you leave off?
Yeah.
Okay. I think just for drama's sake, because I think it's funny, you clearly hear Odina say to her, like, he seemed great. Your brother seems like a great person. He's like, oh yeah, he means super well. He's a great personality. No, I could, sure. I mean, I'm sure, you know, you guys run this place. I'm sure I could come by another time. It'd be great.
Wait a minute. What?
You didn't hear that.
Well, wait, no. I want to hear that. Does she have a crush on Kubo?
This is the social melting pot. Lots of people are having crushes on each other.
That's amazing. That's cute. Okay. All right. That's cute. Okay.
So,
sorry.
Which scene do we want to explore first here? Kubo going downstairs or Kyle? Do you want to roll off for it?
Kyle can just take it. I feel like Kubo just had a moment.
Okay. So let's roll a gambling check just to see how things go. We'll just do this. You can roll with your sleight of hand if you want to cheat. You can roll flat otherwise. I'm going to roll for everyone at the table. And we'll say a couple pretty standard, you know, casino goers see that a table is getting put together. Some people that have already enjoyed the stripper section and are now kind of relaxing off of their buzz. Some other people that are you know, just getting their night started. It's, you know, the night's still very young. But yeah,
legitimately, he got a 13.
A 13. The first hand, a lot of people have terrible hands. You only come in second to Adlaria, actually, on this hand, just by a little bit. And it's just the first hand, so it's real relaxed. And she just kind of goes, you know, kind of gives a small twitter and is like, oh, well, good hand, you know, it's luck. Luck is how it happens, right?
So, I have to ask you something.
Yes, of course.
It's the most important question that someone can ask another.
She looks around the table like, just, I think everyone has the same thought. This is the worst place for a proposal I could ever imagine.
Would you be willing to kill me?
Of course, this is a little more quiet.
This is
not
very
everybody
funny.
hears this, of course. She goes like, I was planning on it eventually. What? Do you want to move up the timeline? What are you talking about? She's being
Yeah,
very
if yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, if it wouldn't be, too inconvenient for you.
She is trying to intuit your entire plan with like 3 of the pieces, and she is very unhappy that she is unable to do so. And she goes, how does this benefit you? You're loving this, aren't you? You love that you know something I don't.
Well, blind squirrel, broken clock, all that jazz.
I would be amenable to being part of your little secret combination, whatever you're doing, especially if it involves whatever killing you.
Yeah. I thought you'd like that.
You like explain the plan to her?
Then I'd lay out the plan.
Yeah. So we'll say a couple hands go down. There are a couple moments where like Deza knows how to gamble, and so she does great. But there's a couple times where Odina's like, and flush, and everybody's like, nah, sorry, no. There are a lot of moments of like education for her. But yeah, you through like what's the word, thieves can't, other stuff, you slowly tell her the plan in a way that no one could overhear and all that good stuff. Let's do one more gambling check just to kind of see how this game kind of tops off at the end.
20.
The last hand goes down, highest stake of the night, nothing crazy. You guys aren't, trading livelihoods here. It's just kind of, chump change for the fun of it. And Larry comes up with a pretty solid hand, and you swamp her. You totally take the pot at the last hand of the night. She got a 15. And so, she kind of puts her cards down and looks over you. And now that she like fully understands the plan, and she's like, you know what's at stake.
Yeah.
If you're as half as good at cards as you are as acting, then we got nothing to worry about, do we? She kind of like tosses her cards out on the table. For a moment, you see like the full-on gangster gambler that Alaria is, and then Odina is like, so did I lose? Oh no, sweetheart, you're totally fine. Yeah, so you did lose. Like, if she goes back and kind of goes into mom mode and kind of educates her on what's going down. Is there anything else you'd like to do at this table that you have kind of the kidlets at, Alaria, and just like a handful of other random people?
No, I'd probably just keep hanging out and talking with Alaria. I don't know. Yeah. Well, Kubo does what Kubo does.
Have you guys, real quick, I'm sorry, but have you guys, like when you watch Arrested Development, and whenever there's like those random breaks and Tobias is just crying, that's not what's happening, but it just reminds me of that kind of energy, and it's really funny to me. I just had to share that. At any given
moment, you can pan over to Kubo, and he's just like freaking
internally screaming, internally sobbing, yeah.
I think they're Odina. She starts getting let me actually roll a con save for her. She's really liking getting to know Deza, which is this cool blue tattooed Aasimar. Like, she's really getting to enjoying getting to meet her, and she's drinking a little more than she normally would. And she starts showing off her like breath weapon in the area, kind of like showing off how much she can just do kind of naturally. And she kind of draws a small crowd and everything like that. You hear a lot of noise coming from the stripper section of the stuff, but it's all good. You hear like people, like clearly a show has started and people are getting excited, and it's a little more rowdy than normal.
Okay. Can I be Kubo now? Or
yeah, of course. So we'll cut away from that, not see what's going on. Kubo, you go into the downstairs area. As you walk down, people recognize that you are from the family, and the guy, like the concierge, goes like, "Oh, well, how can I help you today, sir? Good to see you."
And you, does he have like a name tag?
Yeah, it's just like Bart. He's like, "I didn't know we had an inspection today. Holy,
And he's just gonna like pat. He's just gonna walk by Bart, like pat him on the shoulder, and be like, no, it's all good, Bart. No, no worries, no worries. Thank you. Keep doing your job.
all right, well, we're getting more traffic than normal. Good revenue. Some of our fighters are doing real well in there. Been bashing in a couple skulls, and yeah, we got some bets going on for each of them. Of course, the house gets a good cut. Am I in trouble, sir?
No, you're fine. I'm coming to find someone. You're good. Thank you, Bart.
Ooh, do you want to take him out? We have.
No. You just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing fabulous. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, if you need anything, a drink,
Yep. Okay. And he's just
massage,
walking.
a friend. I mean, do you need an escort?
Okay. No. Yeah.
You
So
can see that
Kubo's
you're kind of tweaking a little bit.
Yeah, that's chill. So Kubo's gonna try to find Llewellyn. I don't know if I need to make a save.
Completely ignore him, drop him like a bag of bricks. Go find
Well, I've
Llewellyn.
tried to nicely end the conversation 3 times, so now, yeah, I'm just gonna walk on. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's great. You walk on. It is a smoky, dingy area. Can you guys hear me?
yeah.
Okay, great. It is a smoky, dingy area. There are a couple lit up spots here or there on tables. Roll me just like either investigation check or perception. Whichever one you have better scores on there. But yeah, you can see that they're starting more fights, and these are just brawls. They're
About
like
17.
17. Okay, there are
Sorry,
just brawls in one corner of this area, and they are just boom, boom, blood and teeth all over the ground of this like dirty. It's very much like what is it? Sherlock Holmes, the Robert Downey Jr. one, like that big pit where they kind of make those bets. That's very much the energy. It's maybe a little bit more open. But yeah, with a 17, you easily see her. She's just kind of got her very modest but serious suit on, and she's just sitting back, and you can hear her kind of like whispering to and forth from a real gnarled half-orc man. Is watching the fighting as well. They're just kind of talking in hushed tones.
How does the fight look? Does it look like it's going, I guess, well for the house, so to speak?
Yeah, it looks like they have a ringer in there that is not for the house, that has been doing really well for the majority of the night, and it looks like he's finally met his match, and he's starting to slow down a lot. And so, like, he's been in a couple fights in a row. But this is probably the bet he's going to be losing on. But he's won a lot tonight, so he's been doing a good job.
All right.
Yeah, he's going against kind of your medium tier house combatants.
Okay. Because, I mean, depending on how this goes, if anything happens, Kubo's probably willing to beat someone up. So, I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see. But he's going to try to, like, he is definitely probably causing a lot of attention already, but he's going to try to, like, sit near Llewellyn, not exactly right like by her, but like sit near her, just kind of like maybe put his elbows on his knees, just kind of like settle in.
You see the orc go like, oh, what the hell? I thought you said this was clean. He was like, no, I don't know him. Calm down. He's like, I'm fuck off. I'm gonna go make sure you're clean. And he stands up and he walks out of the ring. And she kind of looks back at you, kind of with a droll.
Can I look at Bart real quick at the front and just kind of like, I don't know, do something to ask him to like just stall the orc?
Yeah, Bart has been at his eye trained on you. He's like,
I'm gonna real quick.
You see like two butlers tackle him to the ground. I'm just kidding. No.
Gosh, I'm like, no, not that much. But maybe in this moment where apparently if we need to stop the orc, we can. Kubo's gonna ask her, like, will it hurt you more for him to leave, or if I get him to stay?
It's fine. Don't even worry about it, sweetheart. He's just a contact, just giving me some general information. He's just squirrely.
Okay, I'm not going to give the kill look to Bart. Bart's fine. The guy can leave.
They're like 4 butlers. They're like 4 people like hovering around him, and the orc looks terrified, but no one's
Okay.
attacked him yet.
Cool. I love that. Cool. Kubo real quick is just gonna look at her and be like, I didn't mean to ruin that, but
It's fine, sweetheart. I'd
out
much
of all
rather
of
talk to you anyway.
well, I have to say, out of all of Kyle's friends, I feel like you're probably the most trustworthy. I might regret that, but no offense. I feel like I'd Larry
Who
sell me
said
for
I?
a
Who
corn
said she
chip.
was a friend?
All right, Mr. Upstairs in the casino table. So what was
I'll
that
repeat
last
that.
thing you said, Maddie?
Kubo leans into her and is like, "It's nothing against Adlaria. I just feel like she'd sell me for a corn chip."
Adlaria would sell pretty much anybody for anything. I
Yeah.
don't trust her. She's a good networker, and that is it for me. So it's a good instinct on you.
So you are a private detective. I'm gonna say that I haven't met her, but I hope that he could kind of maybe tell from her name, maybe from his mom, kind of a deal.
Yeah, I'm kind of considered one of the best of the best. There may be two other people in this city that can do as well as I can, but I like knowing who people are, and I haven't met you yet. I'd like to keep an eye on the whole circle. So
He kind of laughs and he's like, "Well, what if we were to converse a bit more? Because, Llewellyn, there's a chance I'm hoping that you might have information that could help me, potentially a brother of mine."
brother.
Llewellyn, I don't know if you know this, but I am one of the owners, basically, like one of the family. That is why.
You're a new member of the circle?
Yes. Call me Grudge. If you'd like, I prefer Kubo.
Well, shit. Okay.
I want to know why you just said shit, but
I had a conversation with our mutual friend, Kyle, and we shared a lot of information, but he did not mention you at the time of our meeting. Kyle, you wouldn't use, you aren't one of those weird families that calls family friends brothers. Is Kyle like your brother in this scenario you're trying to save?
I think Kubo is gonna just start laughing, and maybe it would like kind of throw some of the people off in the establishment, but then they kind of go back to what they're doing.
Yeah, there are a couple of people that are like, we're pulling out our bets.
He's like your uncle. Come on, man.
And Kubo's like, "Oh, I hope you don't mind. Do you mind going to a back room with me? You're totally safe, but if I stay out here and talk with you, we are being watched by like everyone. So
Honey, I know I'm safe.
good. Let's go to the back room, please." And then like kind of like remember the beginning of the not the anime, what the heck of the session when we had the fight, how there's like a room with like a mirror. Can I just go in there with her just to make sure that we're not being listened to?
Yeah. We'll say you guys have an obnoxious amount of these like panic room mirror things. You can watch everything. So yeah, there's like 5 in this basement. So yeah, you get into like this. Are you watching people fight?
Not unless I'm assuming in these panic rooms there's like a way to like kind of signal or flag that something's wrong if they know we're in there. Does that make sense?
Oh
Sure.
yeah.
So, and if nothing goes wrong, no, I'm just, Kubo probably while they were walking was like, "I'm gonna be honest, I feel like Kyle would never think of me as a brother, but I like to think of him as like an uncle or like a grandfather that I'd never had. But not because he's a bad man, he's just older than me, but he's a half elf. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, maybe that's a bit
Honey,
much."
I'm having all sorts of like, what's the word? Cognitive dissonance here because you talk like a polite grandson, but you look like you're about to kill me. So you
I get that a
understand
lot.
why I'm a little struggling here. Yeah. So Kyle isn't the brother that you're wanting to save, but he is a friend. He's part of your crew, right? So that wasn't a lie.
He's a friend of mine. He's yes, if I'm counting this, if you don't mind, real quick, for some information I'm about to ask you. But yeah, he's been doing some work for my father and with us. He's not a member of the like our circle, but he's a part of the circle. Does that make sense?
It sounds like a relationship Kyle would have,
Yes.
frankly.
Like he's great. I don't know. Like he isn't like he's his own man still. We can get into this if you need. I don't know if we need to.
I don't need.
Clarification. Okay.
I assume everything with Kyle, especially now, is 5 half truths and 1 lie. So.
Okay. Well, yes. If you've ever heard of their doings before, there's a chance maybe you've met one of my other siblings. I'm thinking if you know Feral or Savage.
Farrell. Ah, shit. Yeah, I knew Farrell. I'm so sorry about that. He
I do
was your
appreciate
brother, right?
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
In fact, my sister Deza is hanging out with your daughter, Odina. She's nice, cool, very
How
cool.
many kids did that guy have?
I apologize. I'm having a rough day, a rough life. But yeah,
Hey, sweetheart, I'm on your side. I want to take care of you. Wow. To think, wow, you're a sweetheart, kid. So yeah, see, so your brother, not Farrell, of course, unfortunately. I'm sorry to be so blunt there, but your other brother, the younger one, I've heard some news about him killing out some gangs deeper down in the south of the city. He's the one in trouble?
he's in Remalin, or he's in here. He's here.
He's here.
Llewellyn, I don't know you very well, but I need you to understand something. I need as much of this information from you. Please give me the truth. I'll tell you anything you want. I'm even going to give you some information to show that I
Okay,
trust.
okay, well, let's go back to square one. Who is your brother in danger with?
Aside from himself, the dwarves, I forgot what the Maddie
Yagrin.
forgot. Yeah, the
Yagrin dwarves?
Yagrin dwarves who are
They,
trying to get into the city.
they pulled out.
I know they did, but
Now I know why they made a deal with your brother.
What?
Sweetheart, if they have your brother and he's not cooperating, I'm not worried about him being dead. I'm worrying about him still being alive.
yeah, that's what I mean. Long story short, he's already kind of tried to make her understand that like he needs as much as he can get from her, but as a good show of faith, he's gonna recount to her how a couple weeks ago, he, Kyle, and another associate of theirs, because I don't actually Kubo would have no way of knowing if he mentioned Leo, and he's just not gonna throw Leo under any buses right now. But basically went out and with Savage to stop some of the Ogren dwarves from getting like a prisoner kind of a situation, and that a deal was made for Savage to go undercover, in which Savage killed Kubo to like get into the ranks, but it's kind of clear that this probably isn't working anymore. And Kubo is trying to figure out how to find his brother, how to help his brother, hopefully not get murdered or killed. Or kill us.
She absorbs all that information. As you finish, she provides you with like a very nice cardstock card that is her business card. It says Llewellyn, Private Eye, City of Sheen, all that information. And it's a nice one. And she goes, I really appreciate you telling me all this information. I know you might be a little new to this, but you've given me a lot to work with, and I'm very grateful for that, and being straightforward with you here. Here's what I can tell you. The Ogren dwarves have a plan that's a lot longer than this little spat with Senator Peterson. They've gotten everything they want out of that. They've destabilized Remalin. They're trying to do some other shenanigans that I don't have a clear picture on, but I know it will involve your brother, only because they wouldn't have pulled out if they didn't get what they wanted. And your brother somehow got them what they wanted during the whole Senator Peterson nonsense.
Senator Peterson nonsense. So,
sweetheart, I love you. I love your energy. You are clearly such a good egg. You're a good boy. You want to do right by your brothers. You want to do right by the people around you, even though you're a killer. And I can see that. I can see that energy in you. You got a lot more gumption to you than you deserve to get the credit for. Your father is lying to you, sweetheart.
That's not new to me. That's not new to me. So he just real quick, like he does like the temple press with his hands. He's like, I just need to know. We are also interested in whatever's going on with Peterson, and this is a lot, and maybe you can't work with us. Honestly, Kyle would maybe be mad at me for speaking with you at length as I have. But I need to know either where Savage is going to be next. I need to know either
so
like
she points at her card and she says, your brother is in Torellin. Your brother's off the nation. I know for a fact that the dwarves left and the dwarves took what they came here for. And now I know that it's your brother. So he's not in Remelin anymore.
If he's back, can you let me know?
You've got the card. I will know how to reach out to you to let you know if he comes back into town.
Do you know anything about Peterson?
I will be. She like kind of like, see, you think it's the guys who are deceiving you got to watch out for. What you really got to watch out for is sweethearts like you that make you do good things that are dumb because you like them. Yes, I will. Fuck, I will help you and Kyle to make sure whatever you're doing with the Peterson thing, you'll have my resources. Okay? Okay?
Yes, thank you. If it makes you feel better, this isn't like an evil scheme. It's really just trying to protect people who are divines. Like, this isn't even just about money or gambling or whatever the fuck.
Sweet, sweet boy. I'm sorry. I'm a little older than you. That doesn't give me the right to talk down to you.
When she's like, sweet, sweet boy, Kubo's just, sorry, he just kind of like, gives her a look like, okay.
Like, look, all the things you're talking about, I'm on the same level with. I'm on your side. Okay. I agree with what you're saying. Here's the thing that I want you to know, and I want you to be careful of. The reason why the Yagagran dwarves pulled out isn't because it was too early for their plan to happen, isn't because they were, didn't have the resources to pull out their plan. It's because they're scared of your father. And okay. I don't know what your father's planning, but it's got an entire nation scared. So the fact that you don't know, that's fine. I don't want to know. That is outside of my pay grade, okay? That is not a big, if you know, do not tell me. Please do not tell me, for the love of God.
I don't know. I don't know either, so interesting.
If you want to get your brother back, that's what you need to know.
Well, thank you, Llewellyn. I'll let you get back to it, as they say, and I'll try not to make sure. If you have any issues with anyone down here because you were seen with me, just let me know, and we'll just make sure they don't hurt you or your daughter. We'll kill him.
Press the little button on that card there. There's like a little like pop impression. It'll cast sending, and I'll be able to hear what you want to say. You're a high priority contact, babe. You talk to me whenever you want.
Thank you. Puts his card away. He's like, now I'm gonna go find my sister. Or Joe Feel. Thank you. Good night.
You pull out of there. We're gonna take a quick break. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I need to use the restroom. We might do a little bit more, but 1 second. Okay. We are back from break here, and Kubo has just left the panic room as well as Llewellyn. And they've kind of gone back to the thing. The half-orc is finally returned to Llewellyn, and he's terrified, but it looks like they finished their conversation. Kubo, you're free to go wherever you want. And Kyle upstairs, it's starting to get on the late side. This is probably where it'd be appropriate for Odina and Desi to leave, do something a little less sexually oriented. But there's this hubbub coming from the stripping room, basically, like the main presentation room.
I think Kubo, at least coming up the stairs, he wants to find Jofield because he's just kind of intrigued by the fact that the angel not only came in here but has probably been having a great time. That's just awesome. But he is gonna real quick just check on Deza, I think, or let her know hey, if you guys want to get out of here, I'll go with you. Do you guys mind if I have to go talk to Jofield real quick? And Kyle, if I can. So
you walk up, as you walk up into the main area, you see Deza and Odina are having a great time, just kind of chatting very relaxedly. She's belching out these toxic clouds of smoke, and Deza's like, "Ooh, wow, that one was bigger than last time."
Llewellyn both I think clearly come out of wherever the heck you were together.
I don't know if we do, because it sounds like she was going to finish talking to the orc.
No, I think Llewellyn stays down below. Yeah, Llewellyn has still got a lot of conversations to have.
Mm-hmm. But when he walks up to them, he'll kind of clap too, whoa, that is that's sick.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, I'm still not. Anyway, yeah.
No, that's good. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Well, hey.
What'd the battle axe have to say?
Oh, Kyle, you're here. Oh my gosh. For 5 seconds, I didn't notice you. It was good. I actually really like Llewellyn. yeah.
Pointed look.
We'll talk later.
Kubo just kind of laughs and brushes you off, and and he looks back at like Odina, and then Deza, and like, okay, yeah. So sis, if you want to get out of here, I'd love to go to like the bars or a casino or anywhere else if you want to peace out. But if or Odina, if you, I don't know what want to come or not, that'd be cool.
Well, I'm supposed to stay with Ephraden, but she kind of points to like the room where shirtless men and like scantily clad women are coming in and out of a lot. And she said, but they're chilling in there, and I don't really care to go over there. Not kind of my scene, you know.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, don't. You should never have to like put yourself around stuff you don't want to like that. But is Jofiel in there? Did you guys see Jofiel go in there?
I haven't seen her since she went in with Ephraden and Priscilla. And this is the first time you've heard what you assume is the Tabaxi's name.
Okay. And then real quick, like, oh, Kyle, did you beat it? How was the game, by the way?
Obviously, the best man won. I assume that in the middle of that, I get slugged in the kidney.
Yeah, you interpret that perfectly. She goes, "Yeah, the cheater won."
Amazing. Well, Kyle, I don't know if you're good, but just so everyone knows, I'll be back. I'm just gonna go find Jofiel and I guess tell them I'm leaving or we're leaving. You don't have to. Yep. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll say that you go into the strip room. I don't know how that feels for Kubo, but yeah, you walk in there.
I mean, the good news is he's in a much better mood after talking with Llewellyn, so.
Yeah, there's, different scenes of carnal pleasure going on all over the place. The thing that you notice right away as you enter in is Ephraden is naked in human form on the main stage and is currently performing a striptease fully just because she wants to. And there are a lot of people very interested in this. And so she has thrown around her weight as a socialite / just because she the hell wanted to, and has become a stripper for the night.
Honestly, good for her. I think that's literally the first thought Kubo has, and she's obviously probably very hot. So I'm sure he's also there's like a little moment of like, oh god, I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely like.
Don't look, evade your eyes, trying to give her a sense of privacy, even though that's not what she wants. So he's like, oh.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Nice, good, yes.
There are a lot of very high up people enjoying this and being like, I get to see the Ephraden completely exposed, and then you show up and they're like, "Am I in danger?" Oh shit!
No,
yeah.
keep talking.
No, you're good.
Do I need to like roll perception or something? Is Jofiel in here?
Yes, you do believe that she is. You know that they went up into a balcony, and so at some point she must have somehow flown down from the balcony to the main stage, and so like. You're seeing the aftermath of an extremely presentational seizing of the stage. There are some very unhappy, actually hired strippers here that are not having their time on the stage as was scheduled. But yeah, roll me a quick perception check here.
Honestly, good for all of them. That's all I have to say. I mean, I have a horrible perception, apparently. It's only 4, which actually fits so well because I'm trying not to look at them.
Yeah, you look around and try to keep your eyes, and then you finally start looking up above, and you see that Jofiel and Priscilla, this Tabaxi, they are not mid, like, kissing or sexual act or anything. They are mid talking, and kind of like have like open glasses and everything, but there is clear chemistry, clear like leaning into each other, talking in hushed tones. They're completely ignoring the show underneath, except to sometimes like laugh about how wild Ephraden is. And it was just gonna be like, what?
Oh no, keep talking. Sorry, keep talking. I apologize.
No, you're good. And it would appear that whatever Jofiel has said has been received well, and they are just in the midst of very casual, comfortable conversation. It's kind of like the idea of soft romancing, you know what I mean? Like there's no physicality to it. It's just really enjoying the essence of one another in conversation.
I think so long as they're both clothed, Kubo saw that, and I think honestly it maybe made him feel really good inside because he's like, "Oh, sick." I feel like a part of him was worried that like he helped corrupt this like angel, and then he's like, "That's gotta be real bad for heaven." I don't know, but he's like, "No, this is a sweet like moment, good for them." And honestly, maybe before he leaves, he'll just check in with like one of the stage managers and like, can you just let like the performers, the work esteemed workers know that they're still gonna be paid even though this happened, and you know because effort, I can't say her name for some reason.
Efferden. Yeah.
Efferden, like cool, she can do her thing, but just so that the people who are working won't feel exploited or
I mean, can we ask her to leave the stage? She's done like several union breaking moves and positions that.
Okay, Kubo's just like
what is clearly Kyle yelling boo.
Kubo
Boo!
is going to try to ask her if she would like to just real quick, Kyle, was that Laria with you?
Yeah, she's with me. I have a seat.
Kubo's going to ask her. Kubo's going to ask Ephrodine, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You're so magnificent. I hate to interrupt. Laria was looking for you, I thought. I'm so sorry. Something maybe happened? I'm so sorry."
You're like talking to her like off stage, and she's like looking over at you mid pose.
Kubo, like, the accidental wingman.
Yeah, what? I don't know. Laria just needed you for something. I hate to interrupt this. You're an exquisite performer.
She does like a big drawn out wave, and she's like, "Goodbye, boys. So lovely to see you tonight." Like droops over all the way, picks up her clothes, drapes them over herself. Like she is soaking it in. There's I'm gonna roll a performance check for her actually, and she'll get advantage.
You were like +10 because apparently that's what it was.
That's a dirty 20. So everybody's sad to see her go, but she did roll a 10 on the die. So she has a lot of pluses to her charisma, as any well-respected dragon should. And so she descends the stage, gets more modest, and joins the party back.
I will say before Kubo leaves the stripper room, we've kind of already established this. Well, actually, never mind. No, yeah, it's okay. Actually, no.
No, what do you want to establish?
I'm just was wondering if there's another bi panic moment for him because he's bi. I don't know. Sorry, this is
so a moment where Kubo's like, I don't know if I like this extreme femininity. Like,
yeah, and then maybe there's like, you've already mentioned there were male strippers, and then he's like, oh, okay, I like all of this, okay, and then he just kind of leaves.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think there are a couple male strippers that look at you and recognize that you're like an owner and are like intimidated by you, and then there's like this weird power moment, and yeah, I think that's totally fair to say.
Kubo's just like, no, yep, I'm bi, and then in his head at least, and he leaves or whatever.
Yeah, Efferden leaves. He goes, I had a lovely time at Laria. Whatever they're paying you to entertain me is far too little.
So actually, I had a thing for that. So as Kyle and Adlyria were talking or whatever while she was on stage, I'm gonna be pointing out to Adlyria that being with a dragon is on my bucket list, and I'm literally gonna die in a week and a half.
She would hit you in the kidney again, but she doesn't want to actually hurt you. And she just broils. She's just so mad at your bad joke. She's just like, what?
No. I wasn't kidding. I kind of figured it's more of, I mean, we're just non-traditional, and before that was happening, I was gonna have it be us trying to pick up a couple at the bar, but
no, I think there's this moment of jealousy, and then she's like, we're not in a committed relationship. You can do what you want. I'm sure she would love to spend the night with you.
I mean,
no, you do what you want. I'm not
what I meant.
Is it okay?
I can just imagine.
I was more thinking you should go talk to her.
I'm just imagining that Deza and Ordina are just kind of sitting there awkwardly listening to this, like, no, I'm sure it would be great, Kyle. Like, from Adlyria.
No. Kyle, you want a recommendation from me? Those are pretty expensive. You're muted.
An invitation from us.
She's like, there's reasons why not, and they're not. You'd think it'd be great with her, and we'll talk about that later. She's like,
well, good for you guys.
We'll talk about that later, or we'll talk about that later. Yes.
Pause. Just pause as she comes. um. Okay, so I think that's everything that I wanted to explore there. With unless you guys have other like bits of information, I'm going to assume you guys go your separate ways. Adlaria does her job to make sure that the idea that you were spending time with the circle is not reported back to the Corin household, basically. And she's going to try and manipulate the Ephraden into not telling any details like that. Odina's easy. Llewellyn knows how to be, quiet. I think if you guys leave like at the same time, I think Llewellyn gives you a knowing look and just kind of like raises her cigarette to you. She does not have a long one.
I think it'll be funny. I'm assuming Kubo and Kyle kind of both give her back like a nod, but I'm sure it's very different energy behind each one. Like Kubo's like, "Oh my god, thank you! Like I made a friend. Wow, a contact," and Kyle is like,
Whatever
"Kyle."
Kyle yeah. just thin eyes.
Glare at one, then the other.
I think, and this might be me, doing some fan fiction moment, but you see Odina give a very genuine, excited wave to you, Kubo, as well as to Deza. It was just like, so nice to meet you. And as like Ephraden was like, did you see my performance? She's like, I didn't at all. Like there's this sort of disconnect.
No, actually, Kubo is gonna wave excitedly back to her too, and maybe he blushes a bit at her, and that's okay.
Your red-orange skin tone hiding some of your embarrassment there.
Good for Kubo.
Yeah, but without any further ado, unless you guys have last words, we're gonna end there.
I think we can totally end there. If Peregrine or Ariana tries to ask anything about how the night went to Kubo, he's just gonna lie and be like, "Oh yeah, the strip club. You know how it is, stripping at the club," and he's just gonna go back up to his room.
Amazing. All right, we'll call it there. Stop recording.